A lot of people come yesterday, so today they don't come. Okay, join me to invoke the name of our teacher 3 times before I go to Dhamma talk. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. You see, our elder Leon, he's not here because we are doing the walkway for the wheelchair, so he have to go to get the cement for the walker. Today I talk to you about also again about the Lotus Sutra. That's our main sutra. I talked about the chapter 13. The chapter 13 about the effort, how they translate, encouraging the devotion. In this chapter, you see Buddha talk about the prediction of many of the practitioners, they become Buddha later. Really, it's not the prediction, it's the one he encouraged, the devotion, the practice. You know, the practice Buddhism involved in the study and the practice. And when you say devotion, it's not like the other thing you think about, superstition, idolatry or something. It's not that. Devotion here is the practice, and you practice with love and with belief what you study, and you give example to the people. Okay, they learn from your example. There are 2 kinds of teaching. One teaching is a verbal teaching. It has no much influence. Okay, sometimes the people they listen to you and they forget about that. The most important teaching is the example. You set up the example, you practice it, and the people, they learn from example. Some you see it. Like you see, Buddha teaches not by the sutra or by the empty talk. He teaches by the example. He teach about the love, loving kindness, loving compassion, but really he practiced it. You see, on his life, he practiced love. No matter what, okay? You see, like a Devadatta, he's a bad guy. He talked bad about Buddha. He plot to kill Buddha. But Buddha turned around, called him his teacher. He said, he teach me how to become a good monk. He never blamed Devadatta. Some people, they blame, they said, oh, he's an evil person. He deserves to go to hell, to be killed, persecuted. No, he never say that. He tells that, no, he teach me how to become a good monk, how to take it. So no resentment, no hatred. Okay, you see, that's a wonderful thing. So we learn. So in this chapter, the chapter 13, what he learned here, Buddha predicted the people to be Buddha. It's not really he want to tell them, oh, such and such become Buddha. You just tell them, it practiced a long time. On the cosmic point of view, okay? It's not long, okay? Like you know already, the history of the earth, few million years, that's the first few days of the cosmic calendar of the month of January. Like our Earth history is about a few billion years, like 2-3 days of the month of January, the first month of January. So when he predict the practitioner to become Buddha, that's the reality, because it become many million years. So when you said that, you become a Buddha. It's not exaggeration. It's not the invention. You will become Buddha, okay? Because if you set up your goal, you practice Buddhism, you believe in that, you will become Buddha. If you look at the cosmic calendar, maybe 2-3 days, 2-3 million years, we all become Buddha, okay? That's our goal. So the effort is this one, it may be continuous effort, okay? Not the practice like people, they just read a few chapters and they forget about that and they go out to brag, oh, I know about Buddhism, I study, I read it, I go on the online, I look at the Buddhism. It's not that way. You need to study and at the same time to practice it. Practice with sincerity. Practice with diligence, okay? If you practice that, you see monk and nun, we practice daily. It's not because we are dumb. We're not. We try to learn more. In Buddhism, the more you learn, the better you understand it. Like in real life too. You go to school, you go to elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and postgraduate training. And all your life, you continue learning. You never finish it. Never finish the learning. Like myself, I'm a doctor all my life. I practice medicine for about 60 years. I'm still learning. I still go to CME, continuing medical education. I still read book. Every time I have a case, I open the book, I review it. Sometimes I discuss with my colleague. I ask my colleague, I ask my student, my children, they are doctors. Sometimes I call them, I ask them about their opinion, how they approach the case, and I learn it. Doesn't mean they are my children or they are my student. I'm better than them. I believe that I have some point I'm better than them, some point I'm not as good as them. So I learn it. So in Buddhism the same way. We practice together. We learn it together. That's the effort. That's the chapter 13. That encouragement to devotion. It's not devotion like practice like idolatry, like you repeat. No. Devotion here is like a dedication. You devote a lot of time, a lot of effort to do it. And you benefit yourself, you benefit the other people. The best thing to teach other people by set up example, okay? If you practice Buddhism, we believe in that. The people, they see the benefit you get. You look happier. You have a more self-confidence, self-reliance, and you benefit from that. Okay, a lot of you see a lot of monk and nun. They're pretty healthy. It's not because they have something special, eat a special diet, something. Just because they take care of themselves. They take care of themselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay. Sometimes they suffer. They have disease too. They have sickness too. But they take it, accept it, because that's life. Okay. Many of a monk and nun were sick, but we didn't go out to complain. We didn't go out to say, oh, we're not lucky or, we are doomed or something. No, we take it because we know that it's life, okay? You have some problem, but you take it and that'll be okay, okay? And our lives are finite. It's not indefinite, We know that if we're lucky, you make 80, 90, or 100, but at the end, we will stop somewhere. We know Buddha died, Jesus Christ died. All of us, we die. We are born and we die. So it's very natural, we take it. And we don't complain, and we stay happy. So in Buddhism, you learn how to be happy, how to take it. And so in the chapter 13, Buddha teaches how to devote ourselves to the study, to the practice, to set up the example to ourselves, to our loved one, to our friends, and to all the people around you. They see the way you practice, the way you take things, and you don't complain, okay? Always share with the other people. In Buddhism, it's sharing. It's a good thing we share together. We do it. We devote our time, our effort for the other people, okay? Like you see, Leon today, I talked to him. I said, maybe I let the junior monk, Master Quang to go to take care of the Simon, and while Leon and me, we do service. He said, no, let you and Master Quang do service. I go to do the Simon. I said, okay, fine. You can do it. And I appreciate it. I thank you for that, for devotion. The service is important, but the Simon is important too. It's important not for us. The work is not for us. I do for the wheelchair people, okay? So when they are handicapped, they can have a wheelchair, they can go to the back of the temple to go in here. And I obey the law, the ADA, American Disability Act. So we make the temple accessible to everybody. We just try to make the rail in the front so all people can use the rail. It will be safer for them. It costs us money, but we do it. Next week, you can see the rail all. The rail in the front, on the side, in the back. And now we finish the walkway for the wheelchair. So it makes accessible. So everybody can come in. We comply to the law, the ADA. In the same time, we think about everybody so they can come in. They can access to the temple safely. So that's the devotion, okay? So when you do have to understand the deep meaning, it's not the superficial meaning. When you read the chapter 13, you don't understand that, oh, Buddha predict about so-and-so become Buddha in the future. It's not that. He said that, but the deep meaning is your devoting to yourself, the time, the effort. You do it continuously, the persistence of your effort. So you do it. It's not one time. It's not a short time. All your life. When you love Buddhism, you practice it. Keep practicing. And the end point is your enlightenment, your realization. It's not just to practice for the sake that people know, oh, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a scholar. I know a lot, I read a lot, and I brag about my knowledge about Buddhism. It's not that. The reality is you're a true Buddhist person. You practice for your own benefit and for the benefit of the other people. That's the devotion. That's the chapter 13, okay? I talked about a lot about the Lotus Sutra. It's our main sutra. But it's a wonderful sutra. That's the sutra Buddha taught about near the end of his life. What in this sutra? He just remind you that you have a true value, your intrinsic value, your Buddha nature. You are very valuable. So you have to trust yourself. You have to think yourself, I'm a dignified person. I'm a valuable person. I can do it. I can elevate myself. I don't depend on anybody. I don't go to depend on Buddha. I said, oh, I pray Buddha, I become a Buddhist, I have alignment. Buddha never say that. Buddha is just a teacher. He teaches us how to study, how to see it, how to get the right view, right understanding, the right view. That's the thing he wants us to understand. He never teaches us about idolatry, about superstition. You do this, you get the blessing. You do that, you get the blessing. No, you bless yourself. You do the right way, right view, right understanding, right practice. and you benefit. So it's wonderful. The more you study the Lotus Sutra, the more you appreciate it and you trust yourself. You see your true value. If you don't believe yourself, you cannot do it. Like you go to school. If you don't believe you can study, you can realize that. If you say, oh, I'm so dumb, I cannot study, I cannot get the advance, I cannot get the promotion, I cannot get the degree, there's no way you can study. But you say that, I'm smart like anybody. My colleague, my classmate, they're smart, I'm smart too. I can do it. They can do it, I can do it. And all of us, we advance, we finish our study, and we all become educated. In Buddhism, the same way. We practice it. We become accomplished practitioner. And all of us, we go to the point, we understand it. We understand correctly. We practice sincerely. With sincerity, you will realize it. So that's the quintessence of the teaching of a Buddha. Trust yourself, believe yourself, depend on yourself. You will be a very good person. The Buddhists say this one. Some people think the practice of Buddhism is very complicated. He said no. When you're hungry, you eat. When you're thirsty, you drink. When you're sleepy, go to sleep. And you practice Buddhism. Very natural. It comes natural way. It's not the form, it's the substance of the Buddhism. Okay? The form, if in school we have 10 different schools, there are 10 different styles. But the main thing is study the quintessence, the love in the Buddhism. Loving kindness, loving compassion. If you practice love, you are a very good person. If you're a good person, you're a good person, okay? There's nothing you know. And you can be a practitioner, excellent practitioner, but you're not a good person, it's a waste of time. Be good, that's all, okay? Buddha says, be good, not to be bad. That's the real person. That we study Buddhism. I talked about the 13th chapter of the Lotus Sutra today. So if you have any question, I try to answer you, okay? About the 13th chapter of the Lotus Sutra. We have about 28 chapters altogether. I will go on a different chapter. That way, when you have Chant open the Lotus Sutra, there are many translations. The one I use a lot is from Mr. Burton, B-U-R-T-O-N. It's a very good translation, and you can get that. You can read it and study that. And we try to get in here, after we finish the thing, we chant it chapter by chapter, so we understand more about the Lotus Sutra. If you have no question, we transfer the merit and we go chanting. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Any positive karmic action we accomplished today, we want to transfer to everybody in wisdom and alignment.
Speech and mind in perfect oneness, I send mine, along with the sound of the bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetful and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Listen, listen, this wonderful brings me back to my true home. Gratitude we offer this incense to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout space, and may it be fragrant as earth herself, reflecting our careful efforts, our wholehearted mindfulness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home. Incense in the censer now is burning, all the Dharma realm in every place, auspicious clouds appearing, our sincere intention thus fulfilling, as all Buddhas now show their perfect body. Homage to the incense cloud canopy, Bodhisattva and great Bodhisattva. To the eternally abiding Buddhas, the supreme Dharma and sagely Sangha throughout the Dharma realm and the realm of empty space and 3 periods of time. To the fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, Maitreya, honored future Buddha, Manjushri, great wisdom Bodhisattva, universal great conduct Bodhisattva, all Dharma guarding Deva Bodhisattvas, and the glorious mountain assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. To Amitabha Buddha in the land of ultimate bliss, Avalokiteshvara, great compassion Bodhisattva, great strength Bodhisattva, Lord, great vow Bodhisattva, and the assembly of great pure sealing Bodhisattva. O great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Namo great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Namo great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Ratnatrayaya Namo Aryavarokiteshavaraya Bodhisattvaya Mahasattvaya Mahakarunikaya Om Sarvaravaye Sudanadasya Namaskritvahi Mamarya Varokiteshvara Ramdava Namo Narakindi Hrimahava Swami Sarvaharhato Shobham Ajiyam Sarva Sattva Namo Vastava Namo Bhagamavitato Tadyatha Om Avaroke Lokate Karate Hiri Mahabodhisattva Sarva Sarva Mara Mara Mahi Mahiridayam Guru Guru Karmam Doro Doro Vijati Mahavijati Dara Dara Dirini Shvaraya Chara Chara Mama Vimara Moktelehi Ehi Shina Shina Asham Prashari Vishva Vishva Prashaya Horo Horo Mara Horo Horo Hri Saram Siri Siri Soro Soro Bodhya 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 Maitreya Narakindi Drishanina Vayamana Swaha Siddhaya Swaha Mahasiddhaya Swaha Siddhayoge Shvaraya Swaha Narakindi Swaha Maranara Swaha Sira Simha Mokaya Swaha Sarva Mahasiddhaya Swaha Chakra Siddhaya Swaha Padmakasaya Swaha Narakindi Vagalaya Swaha Mavadi Sankaraya Swaha Namo Mantrapanaya Swaha. My body is bringing morning. At peace I have smiled is born on my lips. This is a new day and I vow to go through it. The sun of wisdom has risen, shining in every direction. Noble Sangha, diligently bring your mind into meditation. Namo Shakyamunaya Buddhaya. Namo Shakyamunaya Buddhaya. Namo Shakyamunaya Buddhaya. Unsurpassed, profound, and wonderful Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of millions of eons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold it, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. One who bows and the one who is bowed to are both by nature empty. Therefore the communication between them is inexpressibly perfect. Our practice and is the net of Indra, reflecting all Buddhas everywhere, as my own person reflects in all Buddhas, to whom with my whole life I go for refuge. Offering light in the 10 directions, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, to whom we bow in gratitude. And living the way of awareness in the very midst of suffering and confusion, Shakyamuni Buddha, the awakened one, to whom we bow in gratitude. Through ignorance awakening our hearts and our minds, Manjushri, the Bodhisattva of great understanding, to whom we bow in gratitude. Mindfully working joyfully for the sake of all beings, Samantabhadra, the Bodhisattva of great action, to whom we bow in gratitude. Respecting to suffering, serving beings in countless ways, Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of great compassion, to whom we bow in gratitude. Of awakening and loving kindness in children, sprouts, and all beings, Maitreya, the Buddha, to be born, to whom we bow in gratitude. The way fearlessly and compassionately, the stream of all our ancestral teachers, to whom we bow in gratitude. see it and practice it, we vow to realize its true meaning. Bodhisattva Avalokita, while moving in the deep course of Prajna Paramita, shed light on the five skandhas and found them equally. And after this penetration, he overcame ill-being. Listen, Shariputra, form is emptiness is form, form is not other than emptiness, emptiness is not other than form. The same is true with feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Listen, Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They are neither produced nor destroyed, neither defiled nor immaculate, neither increasing nor decreased. Therefore in emptiness there is neither form nor feelings, no perceptions nor mental forming, nor consciousness, no eye or ear or nose or tongue or body or mind, no form, no sound, no smell, object of mind, no realms of elements, no interdependent origins, and no extinction of them, no ill-being, no cause of ill-being, no end of ill-being, and no path, no understanding, no attainment, because there is no attainment. The Bodhisattva's ground in Prajnapada find no obstacles for their minds, having no obstacles they overcome fear, liberating themselves forever, illusion and realizing perfect nirvana. All Buddhas in the past, present, and future arrive at Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Therefore one should know the mantra, the unequaled mantra, the destroyer of ill-being, incorruptible truth, the mantra Prajna Paramita should therefore be proclaimed. Gate, gate, para, gate, para, samgat, bodhi swaha, gate, gate, para, gate, para, samgate, bodhi swaha, gate, gate, para, gate, para, samgate, bodhi swaha. Invoke your name, Avalokiteshvara. We aspire to learn your way of listening in order to help relieve the suffering in the world. You know how to listen in order to understand. We invoke your name in order to practice listening with all our attention and open-hearted. We will sit and listen without any prejudice. We will sit and listen without judging or reacting. We will sit and listen in order to understand. We will sit and listen so attentively that we will be able to hear what the other person is saying, and also what is being left unsaid. We know that just by listening deeply, we already alleviate a great deal of pain and suffering the other person. Invoke your name, Anju aspire to learn your way, which is to be still and to look deeply into the heart of things and into the hearts of people. We will look with all our attention and open-heartedness. We will look with unprejudiced eyes. We will, without judging or reacting, we will look deeply so that we will be able to see and understand the roots of suffering, impermanent and selfless nature of all that is. We will practice your way of using the sword of understanding to cut through the bonds of suffer, thus freeing ourselves and other species. Invoke your name, Samanta Bhadra. We aspire to practice your vow, to act with the eyes and heart of compassion, to bring in the morning and to ease the pain of one person in the afternoon. We know that the happiness of others is our own happiness, and we aspire to practice joy on the path of service. We know that every word, every look, every action, and every smile can bring happiness to others. We know that if we practice wholeheartedly, we ourselves may become an inexhaustible source of peace and joy for our loved ones and for all species. Invoke your name, Shittigadra. We aspire to learn your way of being present where there is darkness, suffering, oppression, and so we can bring light, hope, relief, and liberation to those places. We are determined not to forget about or abandon those in desperate situations. We will do our best to establish contact with those who cannot find a way out of their suffering, those whose cries for help, justice, equality, and human rights are not being heard. We know that hell can be found in many places on earth. We will do our best not to contribute to creating more hells on earth and to help transform the hells that already exist. We will, in order to realize the qualities of perseverance and stability, so that like the earth we can always be supportive and faithful to those in need. Take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. in the refuge of Buddha, I clearly see the path of light and beauty in the world, dwelling in the refuge of Dharma. I learn to open many doors on the path of transformation, dwelling in the refuge of Sangha. Shining light thus supports me, keeping my practice free of obstruction. Refuge in the Buddha, in myself I aspire to help all people recognize their own awakened nature, realizing the mind of love, taking refuge in the Dharma. In myself I aspire to help all people fully master the ways of practice and walk together on the path of liberation, taking refuge in the Sangha. In myself I aspire to help all people build fourfold communities to embrace all beings and support their transformation. Citing the sutras, practicing the way of awareness gives rise to benefits without limits. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support